Hi there, my name is Wayne Hedlund, and today we are talking about milestones. Milestones, what are they and why are they important? Why would we want to use milestones in our projects as we're trying to get things done and reach those goals in our organization? As I work with various teams, sometimes what I'll find is this. They'll have their projects set up and maybe they'll just have a ton of milestones in there. And what happens in those scenarios is usually they don't understand what a milestone is and how to use it. So they're creating an overwhelming environment and they're really devaluing those milestones because they have too many in their project. And then we have the other side on some teams where they just have no milestones at all in their project. And in those scenarios, they're actually creating an overwhelming environment for everyone as well. And it creates a situation now where people just feel like this project is going to last forever. When are we going to get done? And it actually can be even demotivating. So what is a milestone and how are we supposed to use it effectively? Simply put, a milestone is a marker or a checkpoint to kind of just help us along the way on our journey from start to finish with our project. It helps us to gauge the progress of our project. It's going to help us to celebrate certain achievements in the project, help us stay focused. It can even just be to take a breather. A great example of milestones is actually something that most of us can relate to, is just thinking about a road trip. Now, I live in Rochester, New York, in the United States, and my mother lives in Nevada. And yes, that is how you pronounce the state. Most people outside of the state say Nevada. I was born in Nevada, so I'm telling you right now, it's Nevada. Now, she lives in Carson City, Nevada. If I want to plan a road trip from where I live to where she is, certainly I do not want to do it all in one sitting. That would be 38 hours of just drive. I would be exhausted. There would be no opportunity for me to take a deep breath and to, get my bearings and to rest and be ready for the trip because I'm trying to do it all at once. There's no stopping point. There's no resting point. So instead, what I want to do with this 2,600 mile trip is I want to create milestones. When I look at my GPS and I plan out my trek, I'm going to ask myself, when do I want to stop for a particular meal? Or are there certain locations that I want to check out on the way to just take a break or to integrate into the road trip? Is the goal just to get to my mom's in Nevada, or is my goal to make sure throughout the trip that I'm accomplishing something as well? And so in this particular case, I want my milestones to help me along the way. So I might have a milestone at the very beginning, right? When I pack up the vehicle and I get whoever's my family or whoever's going to be with me, and we leave the house, right? That's our first milestone. The project has started. We might have even had a milestone early on, 2 months prior, when we actually started the planning phase of our trip. But now I'm off and running, and we're doing that, and we happen to know that there is a famous steakhouse in Indianapolis called St. Elmo's Steakhouse. So that's our first milestone. So instead of thinking about the 2,600 miles that we have to travel, instead my GPS is just showing me the first leg of the journey. We get to that first steakhouse. That's what we're all focused on. That's what we're all looking forward to. And we get to that first place, right? That steakhouse. And we enjoy our steak and we're taking a moment. We're taking a breather. And then we get in the car and we're ready to embark on the next stage of our journey. And maybe at that point we're looking at Toadstool National Park. Never been there, but it looks intriguing. So we're going ahead and put that in our GPS. And then after we visited the park, we're going to hike Mount Olympus in Utah. And then finally, for our last leg of the journey, we're going to enjoy going through Nevada, the straight roads, 70 miles an hour or more, and we're going to finally get to Carson City where my mom lives, and we made it to our journey. But this journey is split up into milestones to help us along the way. The same thing holds true for your projects. Build milestones to create space, allow for opportunities for us to gauge how we're doing and to evaluate and make sure we're on the trip the way that we're supposed to. Do we need to kind of put the GPS a different way? Do we need to go a different route? Is there a roadblock happening in front of us? That's part of it. So usually our milestones have a beginning, usually the beginning of the project, the end of the project, and in the middle, oftentimes they're going to be associated with various phases of the project. So if you're using a traditional project life cycle, that would be the initiation phase, the planning phase, the implementation or execution phase. You would have maybe some milestones that would have to do with monitoring or control, where we're just checkpoints where we're checking to make sure everything is on track. That might be 1 or 2 milestones throughout the project, and then the closing, right? So these are milestones to help us along the way. And they will provide momentum and strength for the various team members. It would help them to focus and also just help us to make sure that this project is going to get to the end in the best possible manner. We're going to want to be efficient. We want to get it done, but we want to do it right and with excellence. Another note I will make is if you're using a tool like Asana, like a project management tool, oftentimes milestones are integrated into the programming of those tools to help team members and supervisors and executives to be able to basically add value to them as they're trying to understand what's going on, not just with your project, but with all of the projects that they're trying to manage and oversee. So, for example, in Asana, the tool that I provide consulting and training for, there's portfolios and there's goals and there's reportings, and so when we integrate those milestones into those methods and those ways of processing data, it provides tons of value to help them to control and monitor what's going on. It empowers them to make wise choices, and ultimately it lets them lead the organization, your project, and you better. All of that because we found a way to use milestones effectively. Okay, so my challenge for you today, if you're not already doing it, make sure that you're integrating milestones in the proper way into your project so that they can be more effective in accomplishing the goals that you have. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, I'd like to encourage you to please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Thanks so much. Have a great, great day.